A chat with an intrepid traveler.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Audio Lounge, the podcast where we explore several things one conversation at a time. I'm Alex Carter, your host, and today we have a special guest who just returned from an incredible trip to one of the most iconic cities in the world, Rome. Please welcome Daniel, an avid traveler with a passion for discovering new places. Daniel, it's great to have you here.
Thanks, Alex. It's a pleasure to be here. Rome is definitely a city worth talking about.
Absolutely. I do agree with you. So, let's get the ball rolling. First of all, what was your first impression when you arrived in Rome?
Well, to be honest, I was blown away from the moment I stepped off the plane. You know what they say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, and that's exactly what I tried to do. The city has this incredible blend of ancient history and modern life. You can be walking down a street and suddenly stumble upon a 2,000-year-old ruin. It's surreal.
That sounds amazing. And speaking of history, what are some must-visit tourist spots in Rome?
There are so many. I could talk about them the whole day.
No problem. Daniel, I'm all ears.
The Colosseum is an absolute must. Standing in front of it, you can almost hear the echoes of the gladiators. Then, of course, there's the Vatican City. St. Peter's Basilica and the Sistine Chapel left me speechless. The artwork, the architecture, it's breathtaking. And let's not forget the Trevi Fountain. Tossing a coin over my shoulder felt like a magical moment. They say if you do that, you're guaranteed to return to Rome.
I've heard that too. Now, apart from the history and landmarks, what did you enjoy the most about the city?
Oh, hands down the food. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and Rome knows how to win hearts. The pasta, the pizza, the gelato. I must have eaten my weight in carbonara. And the coffee? Unreal. Italians really know how to make the perfect espresso.
That sounds delicious. So, for anyone planning a trip to Rome, what tips would you give to make the most of their visit?
Great question. There are many things tourists must bear in mind when they travel to Rome.
I guess I'll take notes. It might come in handy when I travel to Rome.
First of all, wear comfortable shoes. Rome was built on 7 hills, and you'll be doing a lot of walking. Secondly, wake up early to beat the crowds, especially at places like the Colosseum and the Vatican museums. Also, don't just stick to touristy areas. Venture into the side streets, where you'll find charming little cafes and authentic trattorias. And most importantly, take your time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and you shouldn't try to see it all in one.
That's fantastic advice, Daniel. And before we wrap up, would you say Rome is a city worth visiting again?
Without a doubt. In fact, I'm already planning my next trip. Rome has this way of making you fall in love with it. And honestly, I feel like I've only scratched the surface.
That's incredible. Well, Daniel, thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. I think we've all got a serious case of wanderlust now.
My pleasure, Alex. And to everyone listening, if you ever get the chance to visit Rome, do it. You won't regret it.
Wise words, Daniel. Well, that's a wrap for today's episode of English Audio Lounge. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to subscribe and tune in for more stories. Until next time, dear listeners.
Thank you for listening to English Audio Lounge. We hope you have enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more audio stories and video classes to improve your English.